The Bell, the Book, and the Spellbinder by Brad Strickland, Chapter 16. Are you sure you feel all right, Byron? Fergie made a face. Oh, Prof, that's only the 700th time you've asked me that last month. I'm fine. It was a warm day in June. School had just ended, and Father Higgins and the professor had taken Fergie, Johnny, and Sarah on a little outing up to Dr. Coote's vacation cottage on Lake Winnipesaukee in New Hampshire. They had been swimming, they had gorged on charcoal-grilled hot dogs and hamburgers and the professor's homemade potato salad, and now they were sitting lazily in lawn chairs, listening to the distant drone of motorboats. The sky was a rich blue with lots of fluffy white cumulus clouds. The hickory scent of charcoal hung in the warm summer air. From a tall blue grass fir nearby, an enthusiastic mockingbird sang his whole repertoire of bird imitations. It was a perfect afternoon. So opposites were the key to Jarman Cudbright's magic, Dr. Coote was saying. He wished to work in secret, and so he had to announce his nefarious doings by ringing a bell, real or illusory. He wished to become young, so someone else had to grow old. All opposites, you see. Fortunately, Byron liquidated him before he could complete his work, said Professor Childermass. Dr. Coote nodded. Opposites again. I should have guessed it would be Walter. Cudbright believed in astrology, and as he told Nostradamus in his letter, he was an Aries, that is a fire sign. Its opposite, water, would be malevolent toward Cudbright in all aspects. No one could have guessed that water would send the old devil to his just reward, said Professor Childermass in a low voice. It took the poor dying Tommy McCorkle to scratch his warning for us, and even then we didn't understand it, and were about lost. Fortunately, John Michael had a sudden flash of inspiration and saved our bacon. And speaking of lost, has your father adjusted to losing his job at Baxter Motors, Byron? Fergie grinned. I wish I'd been there when he told old man Baxter off. That must have been something. I won't work, Dad said, for a liar, a cheat, and a fraud. And he walked out. And some other guys who were fed up with old Baxter clapped their hands. When I heard about it, I felt kind of proud of my old man, you know. But yeah, it worked out just fine. Mom and Dad thought I'd run off because they were fighting about money, see? And Dad decided I was worth more to him than a job. I guess it's better for them to think I'd run away than let him know what really happened. So I kind of clammed up about the crazy book and old creepy Crawley. Johnny said, but Fergie's got more news. His dad has another job already, and a better one. Yeah, agreed Fergie. Turns out that the company Dad traveled for wanted him back, not only as a salesman. He's going to be the new district manager. He'll have an office in the First National Bank building with a good salary, and he only has to travel a little now and then. Mom is lots happier now that he's happy again. All's well that ends well, said Father Higgins with a smile. But it's fortunate for all of us that Jarman Thanatos made a critical mistake. He chose a stubborn, bull-headed semi-delinquent for his victim instead of some good Catholic boy. Hey, no fair, objected Fergie. Bet you Dixon there could have foxed him just as good as me. Maybe even better, right, John, baby? I'd hate to try, said Johnny. Better you than me, Fergie. He smiled at his friend, but Sarah was frowning. I still don't understand how Thanatos kept those mice alive, she said. Dr. Coote shivered. Ugh, I hate to think about them. Well, it's only a guess, but I think that the mice were dead all along. Thanatos preserved their bodies and put a spell on them so they would move and squeak and eat just as if they were alive. But the spell was designed to last only for 10 years or so, not 80. The horrible creature that I had stored away was one of those dead mice. The trouble was that over the years the body had dried out and become little more than a mouse mummy. He looked pale. Anyway, I'd rather not talk about it. Mice upset me, and moving mummified mice upset me even more. Well, said Sarah, I was pretty upset that I missed all the excitement. You guys tore off to Maine and left me behind. I don't think that's fair at all. We didn't exactly have a lot of time to spare, pointed out the professor. And you more than did your part when you discovered that the tricky magician was heading for Maine. Without you, Fergie would be a gone goose. I just hate missing out, complained Sarah. You didn't miss anything, Fergie assured her. I can't remember very much toward the end, except being in the dark. But man, I was terrified. He made me read the whole book, page after page, and all the time he was complaining that we had to do it too quick, that I'd only be good for 10 or 15 years, not the 60 or 70 he'd counted on. Did you know what he was up to? Asked Sarah. Fergie hung his head. Yeah, it was all in the book, but the more I read, the less I could do about it. He shivered. How old was Thanatos, anyway? Dr. Coote shrugged his thin shoulders. Who knows? More than 300 years, at any rate. His motto was, Quis agnosit mortem, agnosit artem mortem superantis, or in English, he who knows death knows the art of overcoming it. But you know, I don't believe he had found a true secret of earthly immortality. He renewed himself and was young again, time after time, but he lost something of himself each time he did it. Once, say, 200 years ago, he might have been a great and powerful magician, capable of dominating the world, but by the time you met him, he had worn away to little more than an insane desire to prolong his life indefinitely. I think he was quite mad. Well, he is now just some rather unsightly sediment at the bottom of a rather polluted pond, retorted Professor Childermass, and good riddance to him. Attention all, I have just realized that we still have 2 perfectly good burgers on the tray next to the grill. Sarah, would you care for one? With a smile, she said, Sorry, Professor. I'd pop if I tried to scarf down one more. Fergie? John? Johnny shook his head, but with a mischievous grin, Fergie said, Come on, Dixon, I dare you. Oh, yeah, Ferguson? Bet I can eat one faster than you can, declared Johnny, returning his grin. I double dare you. Each boy grabbed a burger and began to wolf it down. Drops of mustard and ketchup squirting wildly. The sloppy race wasn't very pretty, but it was funny enough to make Professor Childermass double over with laughter. Sarah made a disgusted face, but she had to laugh too. Everyone joined in, and the joyful sound floated out over the placid mountain lake. And that is the end of the book. I'm sure we will have another Brad Strickland, John Bellairs book next year. Sorry it took so long to get to spooky season, but there are more spooky stories to come, and I will see you in the next read aloud.